G'day viewers, well I'm going to try and find why this switch was smoking on this drill. It's a Bluepoint, basically a snap-on brand drill. We've used this for built a shed with it, fencing with it, we've had a bit of renovations with it, some heavy duty farm work with it. Been bloody good. It's been dropped, broken that back half of it, which houses a heat sink with a speed controller transistor sitting in there. That heat sink here doesn't hold anymore because the fasteners that hold it on have been broken off. But it still works good, just got to find out why the hell the switch was smoking. It's got it under these little screws at the back. There's 4 there and the one at the back. Under those screws, then you move on to the one to hold the drill housing together. Gotta try and find out what the hell's going on in there. Might put in some contact cleaner in there. So let's get started on picking this thing apart. Okay, I'm going to set a tripod up here, so. Okay viewers, let's see who gets this thing apart. Makes the video more interesting to see what people are doing in real time here in a video. Okay, now get this damn string out of the way from the camera. Should have got my electric screwdriver going, would have been better. Guess you don't trust the drills that are made in China, eh? Yeah? Got smoke on you. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little transistor there when you switch backwards and forwards. So where you hold the trigger partially on, that's what makes that little squeaking noise. I'm trying to get a number on it. P68NF068 GKD 2RV6 CHN 651. So it's obviously Chinese, but obviously, and it's got ST. So and there's a motor. So you can, that's coming out of place so much. The motor's actually, the shaft has been rubbing on it. Little tantalum capacitors there, disc capacitors, and a Johnson electric motor. The switch itself's in here. Flip this around to get to the screws on here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right, now this is the hard part, because when you take these apart you got to align everything precisely. The wires can get pinched and cut and it's a nightmare. Get it all back together exactly the way it was assembled originally. Now, there's so much folding together, is there? comes off there. Just push that out. It's battery holders in there. There we go. Gearbox oil, and it's a good thing that's got grease in it. Enough grease in that gearbox, which is a good thing. And there's a motor with a magnetic shield on it. Now, if I get me a little light, I'll be able to have a good inspection inside that switch. Okay, viewers, here's a switch. Got a good light so I can see. 7.2 volts for 24 volts DC, 12 amps. Oh, there you go. There's a burnt mark right there. So there's this little wire here. Something's been cooking. J level burned switch. So there's something burnt there. So inspect these wires and they're all perfectly fine. Right, so there's a little bit of a bubble there in the switch. Trying to get the light or the camera to see it, but yeah, a little tiny bubble there at the end of my finger. Something's bubbled through there. So if I put a bit of contact cleaner in it, I wonder if that's caused by dirty contacts while the switch did that. Inspect the motor. Well, the motor's fine. Commutator's good. The brushes are good. Nothing wrong with the motor, so that switch has to be cleaned. I've got my old Black & Decker pieces of crap which have switches the same as this for parts if this switch ever does fail completely. Let's put the Black & Decker switch in this one. Just gonna have to find a way how to wire it up properly. How it all connects. So I get some contact cleaner in there. Don't get grease in your hand. Alright. Those wires back as I found them. And there. Battery goes there. Slot the battery on. Let's see what happens. Press this indicator. No, battery came off. Indicator tells you the battery's full. Let's give this a test. Switch it to the right. No, I got this little switch to tell the selector thing. Has to go back on. Very fiddly working with these. Get the battery to stay on. There's smoke coming out of it still, so I'm going to have to try and replace that switch. Okay, that's probably one of the reasons. Didn't notice that was just hanging in there, so I don't know if that's smoke as a result of a bad connection, but I'll try and get these connections to work properly if I can. Alright, let's get this wire in there properly and see if we can get it to... Just sits in a very bad connection in there. Yeah, that change, this is definitely the source of the squeaking. There's more smoke coming out of this damn thing. There you go, you can see now. Yeah, I got a feeling this switch might be slightly different than the ones in the Black & Decker, so I'll put it back together, see what happens. If it dies completely, then I'm going to have to change it. feed these wires carefully. That would help take the battery off. There's a little nut inside here that holds a back screw, one of these back bolts of this other assembly on. Make sure that doesn't fall out. So these long screws go in here. No wires are being pinched, so I can just put this thing back together as it was. Once get back together, there you go. Push that wire back, that's getting pinched. There we go. Oh yeah, I made a mistake actually now. I think, if I remember correctly, these long screws, I think some of them actually go on the front where the gearbox assembly is held together. I have to double check that, but yeah. Okay, viewers, let's continue putting this drill back together. Damn, I hate it when you're making videos and you're getting interrupted. That's the wrong one goes there. Always make sure that still works. Yeah, the plastic's been broken off completely, so I can't bolt that heatsink back down. not smoking anymore. I must have just needed a clean. I might have fixed it. There you go. There's a close look at that battery indicator. But yeah, that's that Bluepoint jaw fixed. So yeah, thanks for watching.